Hello everyone. It was pretty hard to make this video if I'm gonna be brutally honest. Last night the entire Five Nights at Freddy's fandom took a major hit that we knew was gonna happen, but we didn't want to see it happen so soon. Scott Cawthon got pushed into retirement, and I'm still kind of holding back tears and a lot of emotions just thinking about that. I'm forever grateful for the world Scott opened up to me. I mean, he taught me that nothing is as it seems, and everything is deeper and more meaningful than you believe it to be. I still remember my first time ever playing Five Nights at Freddy's. The game was released, and one of my friends had it on his phone, and we played it like all recess and from the bus ride to and from school. Memories I made just playing that game, not even understanding the true meaning behind it and getting into lore until about the fourth game, diving into a world of mystery and psychological horror that grew into obsession with everything horror themed and introduced me to a ton of new people. Although I did make friends quite easily growing up in elementary school, I didn't really enjoy talking to a lot of people and being social, and it was always very hard for me to continue talking to people. And I remember the first day at this new school that I was going to, we had just moved, and I'm sat across from this guy. His name's Jaden, and I still remember him to this day. Although he was only at that school for 2 weeks, I still just remember this memory so vividly. I was scared. I didn't want to talk to anyone. New school. There's so many people that I didn't know, so many new faces, and I felt like the outcast and the weird kid. And this guy, he's sitting right across from me. He looks at me and he goes, "Have you seen Jacksepticeye's latest playthrough on Five Nights at Freddy's?" And oh my god, the weight that was lifted off my shoulders, that I knew exactly what he was talking about, and I had someone else with a common interest that I did. It was the greatest thing to ever happen. And I was able to make a lifelong friend just off of the connection of the world that Scott had made for everyone to purely enjoy. And I completely respect Scott's decision on retirement. He's 43. He has 6 kids. He's married. It's time to settle down, man. The past 7 years that you devoted to us and the community and Five Nights at Freddy's is more than enough, and I'm glad to see that you're going to be happy. Enough with the ranting here. I'm gonna tell you why a ton of underage children on the internet and some bigger news stations pressured Scott into retirement over some political donations. Most news stations read out things similar to Scott Cawthon refused to apologize for donating to Republican leaders such as Donald Trump, and things like Scott Cawthon donated to Tulsi Gabbard, I believe that's her name, no clue, who took criticism in 2020 for pushing a bill that prevented trans men transitioning into women, to compete in women's sports. And to be honest, I'm actually mind boggled that his political views matter to you so much that you need to deplatformize him just because he donated to things he believes in. And I mean, like, is it really that hard for your 13-year-old brain to believe that he isn't the progressive person that you wanted him to be? He's 43, Christian, 6 kids. Like, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what political views he has, and I have known this for a while now, and I'm surprised that him donating to these companies, or not companies, these parties with the money that he has worked hard to earn is such a big deal to everyone, and why everyone is so mad about it. He's a grown man with the freedom of speech, entitled to his own opinion, and I swear to God, if I get a single person arguing, saying that, "Oh, are you happy with your money going to someone that used it to stop trans women in sports and support Trump?" And the short answer is no, I'm not. But I gave him that money, and he used it how he wanted to. I don't have control of what he does with the money after I give it. Yes, I have control of who I give my money to, but is it that big of a deal that he supported the people he believes in? Alright, to everyone that tweeted something out bad about Scott Cawthon yesterday without looking at the full situation, I'm genuinely worried for your mental health and well-being, and a little bit embarrassed that you could do that without forming an opinion with the entire situation from every side possible. And it's about as pointless as tweeting out something about Scott Cawthon being a homophobe, then not even 5 days prior to tweeting out the Scott Cawthon tweet. You tweeted out your Chick-fil-A order, and yes, that's something I actually found on Twitter. Some 14-year-old went on this giant rant, almost a 17-tweet thread, about how horrible of a person Scott Cawthon is and how he's a homophobe and how he just doesn't deserve life, to then support Chick-fil-A, a openly anti-LGBTQ company. Scott, if for some reason you end up seeing this video in some crazy alternate dimension that is never gonna happen, I just want to say thank you for the pure joy and happiness that video games have given me. The interest you've helped me develop just through the Five Nights at Freddy's games is actually amazing, and I've made a lifelong friendship I will never forget that was mainly fueled by your games in the early stages. And I have memories of nothing but pure joy and happiness trying to crack riddles and survive Five Nights. Those will forever be some of my most cherished childhood memories. And for the past 7 years, for the imprint you have left in my life forever. Thank you, Scott, and see you on the flip side.